Verse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
Is there a doctor in your house? It was awfully strange.
No, Habibi. We do not talk like that.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Marvel Mondays. This is Tex Mex Morty, and I am going to be joined by the Screen Crusaders, the rest of the panel, in just a second. So let me just go ahead and unmute everyone. Hey, what's up, everyone? Hey, so on the panel today, we have John. I'll introduce y'all one by one. So on the panel here, we'll start off with you, Mr. Johnny Joestar. How you doing today?
Hello there, everyone. Doing pretty good. I'm really excited about this, and can't wait to see what we talk about. So,
all right,
let's get to it.
Nice. And then we'll go down there, Mr. Oyman. Did I say that correct?
Yes, the future star of G.I. Jane 2. Mr.
Jesus.
Oyman, yes, that is me. Really looking forward to my venture and journey that is going to be proven to have a great cultural impact upon the youth out there.
Nice. And thank you for stopping by. And then we have what would appear Miss Captain America here. Why won't you say hello?
Hello. Yes. Definitely Miss Captain America, aka Miss CA. I cannot wait to hear all the good things we're going to be talking about.
All right. Glad to have you. And we have a returning member, formerly known as Reaps, but is now going under the name Slucius XL.
Ew.
Yeah.
Is the
It
XL part of it, or is it just Slucius?
No, it's part of it.
Okay. Just
Because
Better not forget it.
Because I just simply like to order the extra large slushies. That is why.
there you go.
Large slushy.
That's a good excuse.
A
Slushy
delicious slushie.
Slushy.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, so I'll go ahead and start off also the episode by having each one of you just go a little bit about yourself. I know you guys just introduced yourself, but we'll go in reverse order this time. But we'll just kind of get jot down, see how more or less what brings you into this panel, how Marvel has been, like how long you've been into either the MCU or the comics or just the games and cartoons. So let's start with you, Slucius, and just tell us how familiar you are with some of these things.
No, I'm not familiar with any of these. Like DC. I like the original Justice League. Yeah, that shit hits. Slaps.
Restore the Spider-Verse.
No, restore the Joss verse.
Oh, God.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm just a buffoon who's stuck in the early 2000s. I like the early 2000s Marvel stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Was the golden era.
Daredevil, Hulk 03, Ghost
Jesus.
Rider movies.
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, that is still slaps. Y'all don't know.
And
And I also like
I
the
gotta
comics.
check
Really do like the comics.
What are your
And-
favorite comics to read?
Yeah, I was about to
That are
say,
Marvel.
do you have a
My
specific storyline?
favorites are Daredevil Born Again. Love that story.
Classic.
Very nice.
Anything
Yes,
else?
Yes. There was the Ed Brubaker run on Daredevil that I also really liked.
That
I
one
like
was pretty
Daredevil,
good.
by the
He
way,
also had
so-
I believe it was him.
Yeah.
Him and Matt Fraction had a really good, what's it called? Iron Fist run too.
Yeah, very beautiful art, beautiful story. I also like Red Hulk, big Hulk fan too. So
Hulk.
yes, Hulk. It's a shame
Rest
we're
in
not
peace,
gonna.
rest in peace,
Yeah. Rest in peace, William.
William Hurt.
Yeah. But yeah. Aside from Moon Knight, that's coming out on Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All
And
right.
what else? And Spider-Man slapped so hard. It was so so good, wholesome.
My cheeks are still red from him
Yeah,
slapping
yeah.
so hard.
My cheeks are still red from the slap fest that brought. Well, I wasn't
Willem,
ready to be destroyed like that.
All right. So it looks like we got. Oh crap! It looks like we got the chat working on here too. There you go. All right.
Sweet.
Sweet. So.
But yes.
Now we'll move on to Miss EA. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself on how you've been exposed to Marvel over the years?
Yeah. So I'm a big MCU fan. Only movies. I don't know much about the comics, so I'm only a movie lover. Uh, but yeah, fell in love with Marvel about I think since the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And I think after that I was hooked.
There
So
you go.
if
That
it
was a
wasn't
good
for my
one to
brother,
start.
I probably wouldn't be here. But
Speaking of which, Mr. JT will be on the panel. Unfortunately, I believe he had to work today, so he will not
yes.
be able to join us this week. Hopefully, next week and on, that would be a different story. He is really excited to want to come join in, but again, probably next week and on.
Okay, he's here in spirit.
There you go. All
But
right.
no. Oh yeah, no. I'm just a big MCU fan, and I just can't wait to hear like your perspectives on things. And obviously, my favorite character is Captain America, hence the name.
There you go. There, we have something
I
in
Yeah.
love-
common.
I don't know. He's pretty amazing. I
He's
gotta
got
say,
that ass.
he
That's
has the
America's
best
ass.
That's
Got
for sure.
Got America's ass to be exact.
America.
America's ass. Yes.
Ass,
Um,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm a pretty big fan. I'm gonna keep being a big fan until they disappoint me, which I don't think they will. So there we go.
All right. And now on to you, Mr. Oyman. I know you and we go way back. Hell, Marvel and the MCU has been a huge staple in our friendship. That's one of the things that we've been talking about for over a decade now.
Yeah, I remember I told you once I had watched Thor, but I watched it online, and I texted you. I said, bro, I just saw Thor. And you're like, huh? I said, yeah, he just flew by my window. There's a red cape, a hammer, and everything.
Nice. But go ahead and tell me.
The hell?
Nice
And you
story.
were
I
like,
don't.
huh? And I was like,
I don't
okay,
remember any
fine.
of that, but
Special
what's it
cookie.
called?
So,
I don't
so
know what you were saying.
I took you to go see Thor, and I think that was the first Marvel movie we saw together. And then from there on, we've seen most of them together. I'd say I kind of like I've gotten like I know my dad has seen pretty much all of it. Same with my sister. My mom's there's a couple movies she hasn't seen, but I feel like I kind of wear her out with the amount that like the volume of MCU content is upped like tripled really over the years. So it's like kind of hard to keep up with everything, but. Yeah, I kind of like started getting into Marvel pretty young with Spider-Man and Fantastic Four. Those were the comics that I started reading. Obviously, the Raimi and Tim Story movies came out. Those were a big influence on that as well. And then just over the years, I've just read more and more comics and getting more and more interested in different characters. I feel like Marvel has a very wide set of characters, very diverse set of characters that are kind of taken, like some of them kind of borrow from DC, and DC borrows a lot of their characters from Marvel, so it's kind of fun to compare and contrast them and see the differences there. But yeah, no, I'm excited to kind of talk about past stuff that everyone's seen and future stuff that nobody's seen except Doctor Strange, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Because he's seen it all.
And last but not least, Mr. Johnny Joestar.
Okay, so my name is Jonathan, but here I'm going to be known as Johnny Joestar. So The MCU, what can I say? I guess the MCU from the very beginning. Like, I mean, I go way back because, like, I mean, I'm 31, shoot, so I know the 90s pretty well. I mean, what I started off with, like, I think it was like around Fox Kids. I think they actually had the Avengers, like the animated series, and they had Captain Falcon, like, they were always like fighting Ultron and stuff. So that one was like a big start, but I didn't actually start to get into like so much into like Marvel when actually until like when Tobey Maguire like actually became Spider-Man. So that was the movie that like
Oh, yeah.
made me
Yep.
like sink my soul into it because I just said wow.
Yeah.
And,
Same.
and I related to this person because unfortunately for me I've always been the fat kid, so like I mean growing up and being bullied, like I mean I've always you see all these pretty girls you can never get, and then like I could relate to that. With Spider-Man, he's just like a geek and nobody really pays attention. He just kind of disappears in the background, and so I've always related to Spider-Man the most, which is why he's like my greatest superhero. And I will say though, like even like on an off side, like I mean I do love like the X-Men, like 90s X-Men, like I mean that was just my thing, like
Oh yeah.
like all the way.
Yeah.
And
Dun, dun,
and
dun,
like
dun,
my
dun.
and my favorite characters were always Nightcrawler
Yeah!
and Gambit. And if I could, I would just like I've always had a dream to like I even have a D&D character that I basically drew and I morph both of them together, so it's like kind of like an elfish like Gambit, with a tail and stuff, and like it's just so cool. But
Those are my favorite X-Men also.
oh, very nice, very nice. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with like Wolverine. Everybody loves Wolverine, and I was
He's
like, yeah,
third place.
yeah, he's badass. But the thing
I
about
love
it is,
Wolverine, though.
Nightcrawler. I love the fact that like with both of these characters, is just kind of like a little misunderstood because Gambit, he kind of looks like a bad guy, but he still kicks butt, But here's Nightcrawler, and like he's really misunderstood by everybody just by the way that he looks and stuff. So it's another thing that just kind of relates to me. But yeah, ever since those moments in time, like I really just got into the MCU. I will say, as far as comics, like I haven't gone into the comics as much as I wanted to because they just keep piling up. I keep getting them, and I'm just kind of like, because I just have like ADHD with that stuff. But because you just want to read them all at once, you're just like, oh, I want to see
Yep.
this, oh, I want to see that, and then like, but the one story,
Fall behind.
the stories that I've really stuck to were Old Man Logan. And that's not the newish one, but it's the one that they did. I think they came out first, the Old Man Logan, where he actually takes care of the baby, like the
Baby
whole,
Hulk.
yeah,
Baby
and then like his family dies in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
And also my biggest collection that I actually ended up buying the bigger book is Marvel Zombies. That is
Nice.
my favorite series, and I have that. That is my greatest prized possession. So as far as that goes, and I also have just like the encyclopedias that I ended up buying like one year after another, but they're like getting outdated. But yeah, I mean that I would say that's basically all my Marvel fanatic that that I have for it.
Hey, it
But
sounds
yeah,
pretty
I am a big
Nightcrawler is
extensive.
the reason I learned German.
Oh yeah, oh dude, that's nice.
Dude, I put
Nice.
blue paint on my face one year for Halloween. They didn't have a Nightcrawler costume, so I had to make one.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Those are good
always good
times.
with that. Always good. If anything, like I will say, like I did kind of crawl with the DC on that because I didn't really know the difference when you were a kid, So I was just like, oh,
Yep.
it's a superhero. So
Yep.
I was always like Batman for like 4 years, and then I was just like,
Yep,
you know
same.
what? I want to be Spider-Man this time. They're like, don't you? This is like, okay, yeah, I want to be Spider-Man this year.
I was Bully
Yeah.
Maguire one year because I had the Spider-Man 3 symbiote suit, and I like, did the dance and everything. Did the stupid jazz
Awesome.
dancing.
Oh my god.
Every time someone
Yeah,
mentions Bully Maguire or something like that, that's gonna play.
Such a
Yeah.
great meme.
Yeah.
I hit the
But
wrong
I mean,
one
like,
at first.
Also like another thing, like just the animated series of Spider-Man, like
Yeah,
was one of
dude.
my
Ooh,
favorites. Especially
that one
like
was.
whenever they came out with the game for like the PlayStation 1 was amazing.
Oh
I,
my gosh.
I grew up
Yep.
watching the like 67 Spider-Man cartoons, like all of them. We had every single one of them, and I watched them on repeat while reading the old ass comics. And then like went up to the 90s cartoons and then the newer cartoons, which kind of dipped in quality in my opinion, but some of them are still
Hey,
fun.
I will
But
say
those original ones are
the Ultimate
the 90s
Spider-Man one was
cartoons.
not horrible. It had some enjoyment factor. It wasn't as good as the 90s Spider-Man or the Spider-Man
Which one?
Unlimited, I believe. Ultimate Spider-Man, that one wasn't as bad.
Oh, Ultimate.
Ultimate Spider-Man's not bad.
No, I enjoyed it.
I'm more familiar with the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. I don't know about the show so much. I don't know if I've watched it that much. Maybe I've seen it.
It's the one with the little chibi Spider-Man.
Is that the one that had a Venom storyline where like all the other Marvel heroes are getting venomized?
It didn't? I don't
Okay.
remember that.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
that because I've seen that arc. I've seen or that season. I guess I saw.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know what the name of it was.
But
Spider-Man.
yeah, no, Spider-Man, the 90s, late 90s one, I think it was, and Unlimited were pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I
It
used to
was.
watch that all the time. The black suit storyline.
Hell yeah.
I never saw that. Oh, I should have watched it because like I kind of like I said like I kept on jumping back and forth. So like I mean once Spider-Man hit, then it was the what is it? It's the future one where
Yeah, I think
it's,
that, if I remember
2099.
correctly, that's no, that's
Yeah,
Unlimited.
yeah.
It was called Unlimited, I believe.
was it Unlimited?
Yeah, that's the one I
Okay.
was talking. That's the one
Oh, okay.
if that's the one I was talking about a second ago. I don't quote me that it's for sure called Unlimited, but that's what I remember it was called.
Okay.
But yes.
So everybody got tagged by symbiote. I don't remember that. Holy crap.
That was a newer.
Yeah, that
animated
was
series, Ultimate
Yeah,
series.
it's newer. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then there
Like-
were animals. There were
I think
animals
like
that were
early
like
thousands, yeah.
yeah. It was.
I remember
it was,
Venomized Groot. They had Groot. They had Doctor Strange and Iron Man. They all got venomized. Pretty
What?
nutso concept. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of
What?
characters.
I guess I must have skipped some of those because like I would have remembered something like that. Holy crap.
It was like more recent, like a couple within the last 5 years, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is a newer show.
Okay. I gotta check that out. Dang. I'm out of the loop.
But
Yeah.
I haven't even seen every episode of that show.
And they keep
No, you-
ramping it, so every new thing
Yeah,
that
they
comes
rebooted
out,
it, and now there's going to be an MCU reboot one too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh
Yes.
man.
freshman
So-
year or something, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think yeah.
So
Oh, like X-Men Evolution.
yeah.
That show wasn't so bad. I didn't mind X-Men.
No.
Evolution.
It was
Come
good.
on.
It was good. Yeah, like you get to see them like actually be teenagers and stuff, and you know you
So
actually
nice.
get to see like Scott's brother and stuff like that, and all this like
Yeah.
Yeah.
drama
The
for your
90s
mom.
one is so much better. The 90s is just like that. That's going to be the one to top. That's why they're bringing it back for Disney Plus. They're
Obviously.
revamping the 90s one
Yeah.
specifically.
Oh man, that's gonna be so great.
Oh, I can't wait. I think Disney's doing a lot of interesting things. I know not everyone is, on board for everything that they're doing. I can see why, but me, I've found something to enjoy out of even their lesser projects. So I'll take anything that they bring with a pretty, with a grain of salt, but not necessarily a small grain of salt. I think it'll have something to offer, if not complete enjoyment.
Right. I totally agree. I mean, I'm usually like at a neutral state when it comes to this because I mean, yeah, you can be a big MCU fan, that's fantastic. You can be a big DC fan, that's even better, whatever. But the thing is, it's like to me, it's all just one collage.
Yeah.
You got your heroes, you got your villains, you got, all this stuff in between. And, it's kind of fun to just kind of, in my idea, just to pin them against each other and just be like, oh, who would win in that, But
Yeah.
even though it's just like, oh, just that they're out there is just so refreshing because, sometimes like being in the real world kind of sucks. So, and you kind of just want to get your mind away from your worries or anything else. So this is where you escape to. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
something
was-
that you love,
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was something for me growing up. I'm Tex Mex Morty, of course, and yeah. So my connection with Marvel goes way back to when I was a kid, similar to you, Johnny.
Mhm.
I was a big, huge superhero nerd back when I was a little kid. I didn't have many friends. Wasn't very social, and then when I moved to Texas, it got a lot worse. So, well, for the first couple of years. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like when I was a kid, I would dress up as Spider-Man and Batman, stuff like that, and I would read the more kid-friendly comics and always wake up every Saturday morning to watch all those cartoons and movies. I think my first actual movie of superheroes was Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. I remember watching that on VHS when it fucking first came out. Yeah.
You didn't have to sit through 20 minutes of ads like I did when it came out.
Yeah. No, well, I wasn't fortunate enough to have my parents take me to the theaters for it, but I mean, I still saw it regardless. But then I moved to Texas over here where I met all of you guys. But when I came over here was the year that Iron Man actually came out, and I was super upset that I had to leave the few friends that I have and family that was over there in California. So when I was upset, my mom's like, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I guess we could go to the theaters and see that new movie of that Marvel hero," because I knew him because we would go to Burger King and they would have the toys and such like that on there.
Oh, yeah.
So when I finally convinced my mom to take me to go see Iron Man, I fell in love with the MCU right there and then. Mm-hmm. And then that and a couple of other superhero stuff like Kick-Ass and DC Comics helped me meet you guys and some of my other friends. And the rest is history. I mean, I've ever since, Captain America, I started really falling in love with that character because I could relate to him just like I used to relate with Spider-Man. Like you said, Johnny, being the nerdy kid who's always never really fit in. Spider-Man was my go-to when I was a kid. And then as growing up, my values, I try to strive and found a sense of relatability to Captain America. And other than that, the shows and the movies, I mean, I've read a bunch of different comics, storylines from the past, and not so much the most current ones, because like somebody mentioned earlier, they started getting a little bit too convoluted to where they required you to read almost every single tie-in, and then this would launch here, and this. It started getting a little too annoying. Back then, tie-ins used to be almost optional. Now it's almost mandatory. But some of my favorite, storylines would be, let's see, like I mentioned earlier, the Ed Brubaker and Matt Fraction run on Iron Fist, the Punisher Max series. Those are just freaking fantastic.
Great series.
And how could I forget? Of course, as y'all probably are tired of hearing of, and anyone who's
Nova,
Nova, Guardians, and anything from the DNA run back in the 2008.
You mean Sam, right? Like
no, anything 2008 through 2011/12 Cosmic Run. Those are just fantastic. Annihilation Conquest, War of Kings, Realm of Kings, and Thanos Imperative. Fantastic storyline. And then anything by Jonathan Hickman from his Fantastic Four up until to Secret Wars. Those were also pretty fantastic. I would recommend those almost as much as I would recommend Annihilation. What's that?
I gotta still read Secret Wars.
Well, read everything Jonathan Hickman, starting with Fantastic Four. Because the Fantastic Four stuff plants the seeds, and then it leads to the Avengers and New Avengers and Infinity leads to Secret Wars.
What years does that start? Like, comic-wise, what year did the first one, the Fantastic Four?
No. I think the
80s, right?
No, the Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four was 2008. No, 2010 to 11, I think it was.
So the second Secret Wars, then.
Yeah, the second Secret Wars.
Okay. Because I was like, I haven't read either of them, but I've heard the second one is better than the original, but I still want to read the original.
Well, there's Secret Wars 2, and then there's Secret Wars the 2015.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
All right. well, let's get back on track. So now that we've all kind of introduced ourselves and said how we have grown with Marvel, I say we have a pretty good darn panel here from here on out. I did also want to address the fact that we did go, me, Slucius, and JT, the original Screen Crusaders, did want to keep going from last year, which is actually, I want to say, about a year from this week was when I think we started the podcast last year. But stuff got in the way, personal stuff, summer, and then my computer broke, so we weren't able to keep going, but now everything's settled, building myself a new PC, and now we're ready to get back, rock the podcast scene again, and start adding on to more than just the Screen Crusaders podcast, which we still want to keep, but we're going to have more segments like these, like Marvel Mondays. I know JT's cooking up his own little segment too that will probably be rolling out soon. Slucius had a good idea for another program that we will also be starting to work on soon, but I thought right before Moon Knight, I want to get Marvel out of the way because we didn't get to discuss almost any of the movies or shows last year because bad timing for my computer to crap out. But yeah, so let's go ahead and who wants to start off? Just kind of say what you saw last year in terms of MCU.
Eternals.
Oh, well, hold on, and then we'll talk about more in detail.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, no, but let's start. Actually, screw that. If I give Jono his way, he's gonna start all at the end and start shit. And
No, bro, you should start from the top, the best, starting with Eternals.
Yeah, we're just gonna end up fighting.
oh shit, you triggered me now.
We'll talk about Spider-Man instead.
All right, so let's see. We'll start with you, Miss CA. Did you happen to watch all the shows in the movie last year, or did you skip a few either by accident or intentionally?
No, I watched all of them. I watched Internals in theaters, and the only actually one I didn't watch in theaters last year was Shang-Chi,
Okay.
which I just life, and I had to wait until it came on Disney Plus to watch it. It was still good watching it from my own home. So, hey, it was nice looking at like new characters and stuff, like characters I haven't heard of or could be connected to something else. And I just love how MCU is going into a new way of coming up with like these characters that we had not seen before or probably haven't heard of or just seen like one-off comic characters, and I love how they're bringing them back to light and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I saw all the shows every day, every week it came out. I was watching them as they came out and was like very determined because I stick with the fandom, and so I don't like spoilers. So if I can't watch it that day, I cannot look at any other social media until I see it.
Oh, I'm with you. I like Spider-Man time and all that the week before. I start muting words. I start like on Twitter or on Facebook, I start blocking certain pages. It's
I stay off.
I shut down like until I see it.
Yep.
I don't go on any social media.
Turned it all off. I even stopped using Google because I knew that it would bring up like spoiler topics, articles like right on the homepage. Like, nope, just gonna not use that.
Like everything's spoiled nowadays. Like even in trailers, it's just like
or even the directors, like in the case of Morbius.
Oh yeah,
Oh god.
Did y'all hear about that? He's over there just talking about like stuff regarding the post credit.
Yeah, that's a great sign.
He doesn't give a shit about it.
No. The studio. Okay, here's the thing. The studio told him to say something that wouldn't. So the fans heard that like, oh, Sony cut out all this Spider-Man stuff. This movie has nothing to do with Spider-Man, and so Sony told Daniel, they're like, hey, just clarify how this connects to Spider-Man, and so he just spoiled the end of the movie, and it's like, okay, there you go.
Like, fantastic.
$1 billion.
Fantastic.
Why?
Super smart idea.
So people would be like, oh, okay, so there is something Spider-Man related. I guess I'll go see it now.
But then it's like they think we're stupid.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
They think that all audience wants is for it to be connected to Spider-Man, which you got to have more than that.
Come on.
Dumb.
All right.
You can
What
make
about
it
you?
connected to Spider-Man and make it cool, but that's unfortunately not what they did.
What about you,
Not
Mr.
the case.
Joestar? Did you manage to watch any of the shows or movies after your century-long feud with the vampires, or no?
Oh yeah, I mean, let's see. I did ended up seeing like most of the movies and shows just like on Disney Plus. So I mean, the first one that I see, the thing about me is like, yeah, I don't mind waiting because I like to binge watch, and it's hard. And yes, I
Mm.
totally get the fact that like I don't want any spoilers, because like I'm still watching some shows like for DC, like Peacemaker and stuff. But like when it comes to like the Marvel stuff, man, like I am trying so hard to just not even look at anything, because like I waited for every single episode for What If, because like I said, like one of my biggest ones that was like my favorite was the Marvel Zombies. And when somebody told me, they're like, "Oh, the zombies are there," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did you say that?" Like, oh man, like I just wanted to see and
Why did you say that,
be a bigger
man?
surprise, but yeah, but like somebody ends up spoiling it, and they don't mean to, but they're just so excited, and I can't blame them. But yeah, I mean, I watched like the Shang-Chi, the Eternals, the new Spider-Man, Hawkeye, the What If, Loki, WandaVision, and I will let you know on every single one of them, like basically I had to cast myself out from my friends that end up watching that all the time, because like I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna wait. And I did. I actually just said, you know what, I'm just gonna take my time away and play some old school games. But I ended up watching all those binge watching, and that was the
That's
best
the way to
because
do it. That's the way to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because like I
I
mean,
can't
even
blame you
after
for
like
that.
yeah, because even after one show, like you're just kind of like, what am I gonna watch next? Well, boom! Once I watched What If, I just went to like, Shang-Chi. I think it was after that was like Shang-Chi and then like Eternals, but then they also came out with like Hawkeye, and somewhere in between that, like Loki as well. But I know that WandaVision came out first, and so yeah,
I
it
binge
was.
watched. I binge watched 4 of
Mhm.
the shows last week.
Last
See,
week?
Yeah, just in last week alone, I watched WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, and What If, all like binging them, because I'm doing the whole
nice.
MCU in like chronological order, which is kind of hard to
Yeah.
do now with everything. But What If was surprisingly just a really strong show when you watch it end to end, because it is kind of fun how it all connects at the end. But the
Oh
Doctor
yeah.
Strange episode
Oh, yeah.
is just like the best out of, like, so good.
That was the only one
Yeah,
I
I
actually
mean,
really liked.
he concaved the universe into nothing.
Dude.
So like I was just like, oh my god, like how can you do that? Like he knew what he was doing, but he's just like, no, I want to save her, and I'm
Yeah.
just kind of like, dude, you literally sacrificed the whole universe for like one person, and I'm just kind of like, you know what, like, whatever,
Yeah,
dude,
make
it's your thing.
choices and you lives with them.
Yeah.
I-
I
what
will
did you-
say, I missed out, like even on Netflix when it came out, like the Daredevil, Luke Cage,
Mm.
Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, because like I watched the first season from all of them,
Same.
and then the Defenders, but
And then I stopped.
like yeah, and then like the Punisher came out, which I was like, okay, cool, but I only saw like half of the Punisher. But then like, I was just like, well, why not just like, now that every single, season for them is out, why not just rewatch it again? So I actually went online and like look at the list of the time frames and how it goes. So right now I'm in the second season of Jessica Jones, and
Okay.
it's actually pretty decent. Like definitely Punisher was way better than I imagined, because like I was just kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
like they introduce the person and they're like backstory. It's like, okay, I get it, like your family died, and like I'm not trying to be that morbid, but like the Punisher,
that is
everybody
how it
knew.
is.
Yeah, like I mean, like everybody knows that the Punisher's family died, but I will say though, like they kind of dulled it down, because if you remember from like the old one where it's I can't remember the actor's name, but it's the one with
Alex can tell you.
Yeah.
Punisher Warzone.
the Punisher. No, the one before that, the one
Oh,
with
Thomas Jane?
Thomas Jane.
So yeah, Thomas
yeah.
Jane.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah. So like
Don't get me started
that
on that son of
one
a bitch.
was nuts because why? Not only did they kill his family, like I mean, they killed his whole family, like whole family. Like
Yeah.
everybody's like having a good time, like oh my gosh, family reunion, it's so cool. And it's like on this one, they just killed like his immediate family, which is his wife and his kids. But like oh my gosh, like um in that Punisher, like they ended up killing like aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever.
Mhm.
And you're just like, oh man, like John Travolta's gonna die. Oh yeah, but like I just forgot his mob boss name. So, but either way though, like
Howard Saint.
I really feel like yeah, Howard Saint. There you go. I felt like man, they just they really dulled it down. But I will say though, I like how they modernized it with its being like him from being Iraq, like going to Iraq and stuff like that, military stuff. Because in the other one, he was just like I'm pretty sure he was like military trained, but he was a cop. You
Yeah,
know,
he was like undercover.
he was an
cop.
undercover cop. Yeah, he was an undercover cop. But now they have actually introduced him as like a war veteran. That he did some pretty bad stuff over there, and it kind of like tagged along to his new life, and it just kind of screwed him over. But yeah, I just finished watching The Punisher all the way through with that second season, or I mean that first season. So right now I'm just on Jessica Jones, and it's okay.
Honestly,
I'm not
ones-
gonna lie, like I kind of skip around a little bit just because like
yeah, only ones
it
that
gets
are
a
worth
little
it
too
to me.
talky. Like oh my gosh, like yeah, I'm a mutant,
Yes.
like don't be scared of me, but you're gonna blame everything on me.
I
Like, don't
personally
know, it's just a lot
only
of
ones
drama.
that I enjoyed were Daredevil and Punisher,
Yep,
and
same.
that's
Yeah,
about it. The other
same
ones
here.
were very
And see,
lackluster.
I'm trying my best to lead into that, and I'm not trying to watch that third season right now because like that's
Oh,
what
so
what
good.
is left.
Yeah.
I bet because like I mean everybody thought he was dead in the Defenders,
Mhm.
so and then like you see him at the very last second, like he's like somewhere, and I'm pretty sure it's like a nun or something, like he has like a rosary, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh my gosh, he's alive. So
Yeah.
yes, I am so excited to watch that. Please don't spoil that for me. I will try to see if I can
Oh
get
no,
that
no,
done
yeah, no.
this week,
Just know it's
and
good.
then next time I'll talk about it. I'll be like, you guys, it's crazy. So yeah.
But
Totally be ready for it.
so
Talk
what
to
did
me
you
about that
what did you
because,
think
like, that-
about? Oh,
That
go ahead,
season
Lucius.
is really good.
Although not as good as
man.
Iron Fist. Iron Fist is
Ah,
still the
Jesus!
best show.
Shut up!
Oh my
don't
God,
don't
shut
you
up.
dare! Don't you? If there's one more
I
person that
swear-
pisses me
Hell
off
no,
more than
fuck
Thomas Jane,
I didn't
it's
even watch the
goddamn
second season. It was not
Scott
even worth it.
Buck.
Yeah, no, you're not missing much.
Scott
Oh
Buck.
man, that
You are
sucks.
made
Cause like
of
I'm not gonna lie, even with him, it was like a little talky in the very beginning.
It's
It's just
all
like
talkie.
Yeah. And
Oh,
it's
damn-
like,
all
like,
talkie.
It's
No,
damn
like-
board meetings. What are they doing? Damn board meetings for a dude who should have been more badass than fucking Shang-Chi. What is wrong with them?
I don't know how they can mess up with him because he's literally like it's Liu Kang but Marvel. Okay, like it's just like it's basically like Enter the Dragon, just like Bruce Lee stuff, but with a Marvel character. Like it's just supposed to be mystical kung fu. I don't know how they can just miss the mark on that.
They did Shang-Chi instead, and that was basically Iron
yeah,
Fist, right?
Yeah.
I think that fixed that little
they aren't
thing
the
because
same,
like,
though.
honestly with Iron Fist it didn't really do it justice like
No.
for
Really
that first
did.
season. I mean it's like all like talky hey my fist can glow and then like
Once
I was
an
like, all right,
episode.
cool, like
Boy,
Playing, like, it
Whatever.
Once an
See?
episode, and I
can
get
I see
one
how
charge.
you got that? Like he said he punched a dragon in the chest, and I'm like, dude, let me see that. Like
Yeah,
I'm
we
pretty
want
sure
to
I
see
want to
that.
see I want to see a backstory to that.
I want them
But
to
they just
reboot
kinda said,
him
I did it.
for Disney Plus and give
Yeah,
them
like-
like a Disney Plus budget because you could go really cool with that. Not Netflix.
Oh
budget.
yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
do that
But
on
don't
Netflix.
cast Finn Jones.
No. Only ones you need to
Recast.
keep. Only ones you need to keep from the Netflix universe is
Luke Cage.
Daredevil. Well, I guess so. Luke Cage was all right, but
Okay.
Daredevil,
He was great.
John Bernthal,
Christmas.
and Vincent D'Onofrio. That's it.
Wilson Fisk.
Mhm.
Everyone else could. I'm indifferent. If you keep them or get rid of them, I don't really care. But Johnny,
Keep
real quick.
Rosario Dawson.
So you said you watched What If. Since you're pretty big on that Marvel Zombies, did that episode kind of meet your expectations?
So it was completely off
Yeah.
from
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing from the actual comics, of course, because like I mean, yeah, I get it. It's their own thing, and that's perfectly fine because I'm not really expecting it to be just like the comics because it didn't necessarily just say like just Marvel Zombies and with these creators because I
Mm.
mean the comics are so much more gorier. I mean like there's
Oh, yeah.
even a scene that I can still never get out of my mind is you see the Incredible Hulk. Oh no, there's like these two kids and they're running for their lives because like some of the heroes have already turned and they're just like, oh look, it's Hulk and I think it was Ant-Man or something. It's like they'll save us, and then you end up seeing like the next little panel and it's the Hulk and his belly is like twice as big. And he's just like, oh man, and then like I think Ant-Man like tells him like, hey man, you shouldn't have like filled up on those kids, dude. Like there's plenty more to eat. And I
Oh
was
my.
like, what? Like he just ripped those people apart. But like, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have shown this either. Is like um the first book was where you see Spider-Man and he's going through the window and he sees Aunt May and Mary Jane and he's like
Hey.
wounded. He's like holding up his guts. Like, I mean, it's fallen out. And he's just like, oh, Mary Jane, like, please, you got to help me. And she's like, oh my gosh, Peter. And then Aunt May goes and she's like, I'll go get the med kit. And so she
Mhm.
disappears. Mary Jane's right there, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on? What happened?" He's like, I don't know." But like, Cap just turned around and he bit me, and he ripped me apart, and like, I don't know what's going on, but like, I'm starting to get like, it hurts so bad, and then like, it kind of goes to like what reminds me of the old horror movies of like the Night of the Living Dead when they said, "Oh, I need to eat brains," and I just thought like where he's just like, "I'm just so hungry," and like just completely
Eats.
rips Mary
Mhm.
Jane like right there apart, and then Aunt May walks in, she's like, "Bing!" And then like she's next. She's just like, yeah, she was just like the appetizer. Now you're like the main meal. So
Well,
yeah, I even though like it was not as that crazy from the comics, like I still enjoyed it because it had like a good basic like story to it. I mean, it's like
It's
a full-on outbreak, and they're trying to figure it out. And there's still some survivors, and
it's Infinity
like they're
War, but zombie
yeah.
yeah,
version.
Hey, Mr.
yeah,
Oyman, Mr.
yeah,
Oyman,
and
did
like
you
and it's perfectly fine. Like I mean, like I still enjoyed like kind of like what you said is that they kind of tied everything in together at the end, and that
Mhm.
was like the best part
Mhm.
because I was just like, oh my gosh, all those zombies were still used, and they all just kind of came down out of a
They opened
wormhole,
a
you know?
whole portal, yeah,
Yeah,
on top of
Hey,
Ultron. That was
Mr.
great.
yeah.
Oyman,
Zombie Wanda. We better get
Mr.
Zombie
Oyman, you
Wanda
you
in
have Marvel
multiverse.
Unlimited,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
Have you read the Marvel Zombies one?
I've read some of it,
Did
but
you
I do
read the?
intend on reading more of it. I have about 6 different series that I'm kind of reading right
But did
now,
you
jumping
did you
through.
read the? I think you would like that storyline because there's the basically the prequel to how Spider-Man's story and all that actually involves
It
the
sure
Evil Dead.
is.
It involves Ashley
It's what?
Williams. Evil Dead.
Oh,
Ashley Williams
Evil
is
Dead,
in it.
Ashley Williams. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heck
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. We better fucking get Bruce Campbell as Ashley J. Williams. But it's okay if we don't. Sam Raimi, it'll be a missed opportunity.
No, no, no. You know what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
He's gonna come back as the French guy from Spider-Man, as the theater guy,
And the
wrestling.
WrestleMania guy?
Yeah, the WrestleMania guy. Yeah, he's gonna come back as either one of those. That's what's gonna happen, and it'll be great.
The amazing
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
It's like the human spider. That sucks.
Bro, or I'd be happy if he was a Doctor Strange variant. Like, why not?
He probably will be. I mean, they're friends.
I'll
right?
take that.
He's probably gonna be in it.
He'll definitely be in it.
Hey,
100%.
Slucius, you saw most of the shows and the movies, right?
Yeah, I did.
Which one?
What-
which ones were
yeah,
the
what have you
weakest
not
one in
watched?
your opinion?
Wait, what
Okay.
was that?
Ans-
Which one did I not like?
answer Mr. Oyman's question first.
What'd you say?
What was my question?
Yeah.
I think you asked which one didn't you watch or something like that.
Oh yeah. What have you not watched so far out of last year's MCU lineup?
So I didn't really watch Loki all that much. Hawkeye. I only saw the last episode of Hawkeye.
Okay.
Jeez,
And
that's the weakest
okay,
one.
well, I saw
Okay.
I saw WandaVision. I saw what's it called?
Captain America and the Falcon and the
Yeah,
Winter
Falcon.
Soldier.
Yeah, Bucky. Falcon. Yeah,
Sam Bucky.
yeah, I
And
saw
Bucky.
that. Yeah, Lethal Weapon too.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Lethal Weapon. Has anybody watched Lethal Weapon? That movie's so good. But
We need
Oh,
It's been
yeah.
a long time.
Oh,
we need a
yeah.
rewatch. It's been a long time.
yeah,
It's probably
It's
been
due
at
for a
least a
rewatch.
decade for me.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched those two. Yeah, I saw a little bit of What If. And
Like
it
the
was
good
okay.
best ones.
Here's the thing. I'm a very much like a I kind of I like what I like. I don't really go with like what the crowd flocks to.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
And
Respect,
out of all
man.
of them, I kind of just like I liked WandaVision just because it was funny.
Mhm.
You know, and here's the thing. Like I like this stuff, but I'm not like overly like
Oh yeah.
like a fanatic about it. So like I don't jump on everything new that they do. It kind of takes me a while.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not the best that Marvel puts out. I'll say that much.
Well, I think it's just because for me, after Infinity War or like Endgame, it's kind of been like a little numb for me, because everything's
Yeah.
kind of like everything's like an A+ to them. Like when they're turning in, just like you turn in the paper and like you get a good grade, but like all the
Banger,
time,
banger.
like, and it's just kind of
Yeah.
like I'm kind of desensitized by it a little bit,
Mhm.
you know.
There's no
And
hit
it's-
or misses.
It's just like it's the same. Like you know what to
Well,
expect
it's
when
like-
you go in and you
yeah.
go out, and it's just like it does everything
When-
you thought it would. So
It's like once you go to Infinity War, Endgame, and No Way Home, it's like where do you go from here? I mean, that's kind of the
Yeah,
appeal.
it's
I
just
mean,
like-
so
yeah.
everything in comparison.
yeah, nothing's
Multiverse
very
of Madness.
interest-
That's
very
where you go.
interesting anymore.
Yeah, but we'll see about that. I'm still
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
super excited.
It's gonna
I'm
change.
excited.
Yeah, it's gonna change. Like the things with this movie is gonna be a game changer.
Mhm.
Like it's gonna mix stuff up. So I do want to see it. Like I am excited for that.
Oh, I'm super excited. I have
Yeah.
no idea
Oh,
if
yeah,
it'll
I'm
make
excited.
things
Yeah.
worse or better, but hopefully
Uh,
better. I hope
And
it's long. I heard it's under 2 hours apparently.
I wanted it to be
Oh.
long. Yeah, I wanted it to take its time.
I would rather it be
Yeah.
at least like 220, 225. That's like, the Avengers movies. I think it should be that length. Because the first
Yeah.
Doctor Strange was under 2 hours. And while I really liked it a lot, it was kind of a Batman Begins or Green Lantern type of origin story. It wasn't anything
Mm.
super.
Yeah,
Like-
and I'm not the biggest fan of like origin stories, especially when
Yeah.
I know a lot about the character, and it's just like, okay, but I don't really want.
I doubt it's
see
going to
this.
be
I just
under
want-
2
Let me
hours,
see
though,
the dude. I
'cause
just want to see the dude in the suit.
unless they're going,
Yeah.
unless they're
Yeah,
going
that's-
like a
People,
million
like-
miles an hour, I don't see it
That's-
being under 2 hours.
Yeah,
But,
and like, see, that's what I kind of felt about like Batman too, though, because like, I mean, to me, like, it just seems like a bit of a rerun. Like, I don't know. I get that it's like a new actor and all that stuff. Like, it's great. Like, I'm not hating on him. Look, if he got casted for the role, they did it for a reason. That's
Mhm.
great on it. But it's just like, man, another Batman movie is just like, man, it gets a little tiring because I've seen literally almost every single Batman. I
Yeah.
might have not seen the old series. With what's his name? Like
Adam West.
the TV series, old school, like
Adam
70s,
West.
60s. Whatever. Yeah, Adam West. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
So yeah, like Adam West, with like a Hispanic Joker. I didn't see that stuff.
well,
Fun-
then they've been
We were-
recasting Batman.
Fun
so
fact,
freaking
I
much.
took a piss next to Adam West, me and my friend.
Oh yeah, I saw that
What?
thing.
Yeah, when we went to Comic-Con, we went to the bathroom, and then there's this
Oh.
like big
Uh-huh.
security guy walked in, and he kind of scouted the area, and then Adam West popped up and just went right next to us, and we're like, oh shit, we took a piss next to Adam West. How fucking cool is that?
Oh, that
Okay,
is
that's
awesome.
cool.
Oh,
Well,
dude, like what? What if
He
he
did
just like?
other stuff too, though.
What's that?
Oh,
That's
sorry.
like-
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, I just said like it would have been crazier if like what if he just like looked over at you while you're peeing and just goes nice.
Jesus. Fuck.
He was like nice.
Ninja Turtle.
That's like Robin's.
So wrong. No, if anything, it would be Adam West. It would be Adam West. He'd be like, "Yep, same here."
That's pure West right there.
Pure West.
But
You want to
back,
go see my
back-
Batcave?
Jesus, back. Let's reel it back. Let's reel it back. It's getting real weird, real fast.
Yeah, but anyway.
Anyways, no, I think I saw every project, and I thought I did up until last week. I realized I didn't finish Loki. That's like the
All
only-
right, Puto, when are you gonna watch it with me? When are you gonna watch it with me?
I don't know, man. It's just I got
That was my
busy.
favorite.
I started getting this stuff together and then playing some video games because a lot of stuff has come out within
Yeah,
the
you're
past
playing
couple
too much
months.
Elden Ring.
Well, not just that. There's stuff like Horizon and other games that came out in
Mm.
January, February, and March. So low-key, I started it, and then I got distracted, and I didn't get around to it. It honestly, it wasn't catching my attention too much because I'm not a really big Loki
Binge it
fan.
with me.
But I'll
Hey,
eventually
I thought the
finish
same
it.
too.
I mean, it's good. I just didn't like the ending so much.
Oh, the ending was great.
I don't know about that.
I loved it so much. It gets better each time I watch it. I've seen all of Loki at least 4 times now.
Jeez,
Oh my god.
I can't even
I
finish
love
it
the
once.
fuck out of it. It's so good.
But definitely on the weaker side for me, I'd say. Which ones didn't I like? Let's see, what was there? I know Falcon and the Winter Soldier was really disappointing for me. I was
I liked
expecting
it.
more like Winter Soldier, not quite Civil War, but like that Winter Soldier vibe, and I don't know, it just felt both rushed and slow at the same time. It just, I don't, it
It
was
wasn't
very
the
weird.
Russos doing it, Puta. It was
No,
an
that's-
inexperienced,
that's what I'm saying. It just-
inexperienced showrunner.
It felt like
Okay.
bootleg Winter
I
Soldier
did
I'm
see a lot
biased
of back
about
and
it,
forth.
but
I felt like a
I
bootleg
did
version
see a
of
lot
what?
of back and forth to
of
it
like
too, man.
the Captain America movies.
Oh, bootleg
Yeah.
Captain.
Yeah, it
I
felt
don't know,
like
I'm
it
biased
was.
about it. Maybe I'm biased only because
I
I like
enjoyed it.
Captain America, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I did too.
Like
I
I,
found-
love the characters and they're like, them learning
Yeah.
how to.
It doesn't
They're,
help from. Oh, sorry.
It's not for everyone, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Well,
But I'm
I-
biased because I love Captain America.
I guess
My-
it's
my
because
dad was
I had
like,
such
had a
high
problem.
hopes.
My dad had a problem with like the second to last episode, but then the very last episode kind of won him over, and he really liked the whole thing as a whole.
Well, see,
But
I didn't like
don't
the
know, I
second to
enjoyed it.
last episode and the last episode. I feel like the second to last episode kind of just like the train was moving at was picking up
Mhm.
speed, and then the second to last episode
Mhm.
just like abruptly
Yeah.
Abrupt
toned
stop.
down. It like
Because
it like
it
came to
starts
almost
off
a
so strong.
complete stop.
When they're fighting him, and then it just like goes dead after that. It's
Yeah,
so slow after that.
and
but,
then
yeah.
and then they're
Yeah.
like, let's do the side quest and go talk to these people and just fuck around for a whole episode while
Yeah.
shit's going down.
The-
And then they realize, oh man, we're on the last episode. Let's just go at 100 miles an hour. So it was. That's what I'm saying. It was both
It's
slow
the
and fast.
pacing.
Yeah, pacing was
Yeah.
and I guess it was my most anticipated show.
Oh really?
For the first slate before all the other ones got announced, but my most anticipated movies were Doctor Strange, and show was this one. And I think the shows for me have been kind of lackluster, but the movies are definitely where it kind of picked up. Other than well, Eternals. Yeah. But we
You mean
don't
Black Widow.
we don't talk about
We
Eternals.
don't talk
here.
about that here.
Oh man,
come
Black
on.
Widow! I forgot about Black Widow.
I know, 'cause we did
Oh
too.
my gosh, that's right. I did watch that, and I was like, "Wait, well, she's dead. Like, what is this gonna do now? Like, I mean,
Honestly.
What does it matter? Yeah, what does it
Hawkeye.
matter?
Like, I get it, Hawkeye. She
Okay.
like pops up again, her sister, but I'm just kind of like, dude, come,
I-
what? She's
It
gone.
I
would have
watched.
been better if we got it in the middle of it, like 2016, like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
It would've been great.
That's where I rewatched it the other day. I watched Civil War, then Black Widow, and then like Black Panther, and then Infinity War, and it plays well if you do that. But otherwise,
Yeah, it worked together.
no, it came way too late, and it was
Yeah.
Either way.
the third act really let me down. I was not.
It was
impressed with the third act.
third act. Well, when I got home, my wife asked me. She's like, "Oh, how was the movie with the guys, with you and Slucius and our other friends?"
You say my-
I said
The
it
way
was
you say my name makes me laugh.
it was the definition of mid, is what I said. It was forgettable
Yeah,
and
I
just
agree.
straight average.
Yeah.
No risks, no
So, like,
nothing.
it did it. They did a great cast too. Like, I mean, they had
Yeah,
they
of
put the
course.
right people in the right spots. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
everything was a nice, even flow. Like, everything
Yeah, no,
was
it's
so
not a bad
fast.
movie. It
But I
was
It
just
just came too late.
forgettable.
yeah,
forgettable and
yeah,
just
like I was
average.
just kind of like sitting here, like, why
It
do
didn't
this
amount
now?
to anything.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh well,
Other
Side
than that,
quest, let's go.
pretty
Um,
much the whole movie.
but-
was like-
Hawkeye was probably the one that I was
Hawkeye,
looking forward to, and it met my expectations. I got exactly even a little bit more than what I was expecting that show to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, Hawkeye played exactly like Falcon Winter Soldier played for me. And I liked both quite a bit, but they both felt like they had pacing issues, kind of. I felt like Hawkeye should have focused more on Clint Barton, but I still liked Kate Bishop quite a bit. I kind of wish they put Black Widow's sister Yelena a little bit sooner in the show or made it longer.
The only
But
thing I could think of pacing-wise that was bad was waiting to have freaking Kingpin reveal and actually play a part in the story in the last episode. I feel like they should have either saved that for the stinger of the last episode or just not have him show up other than in that photo that she's talking to with the mom.
Yeah. Also, I do not think they did a good job at making Echo like, oh, she's getting her own show. And it was kind of like, okay, what does this character do?
What else is she doing? Yeah.
She's deaf and handicapped.
Agent Carter. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I actually finally watched that show. Fine, I've never seen it, and I rewatched it. And I watched it for the first time. It's so good.
Agent Carter is great.
It's so good.
I don't care what people say, it is great.
It is great.
I never.
The first season, phenomenal. The second season, not so much, but it's still great.
If anything, I was just throwing out a stat, but I haven't actually seen it. But on my list because I know that like now Disney Plus has like the other shows, you know, like Agent Carter, the
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So I am trying my best to like just go through that. But the first ones that I said that I wanted to do was like, you know, the Daredevil and stuff. So I guess from your guys' perspective, I'm just gonna go ahead and just like dismiss Jessica Jones and just go straight to just I'm probably just gonna say
it's not a bad show. It's just. Again, only noteworthy ones were like Daredevil and maybe Punisher. But Jessica Jones is still a good show to watch if you have spare time. But if you're in a hurry to just get to the other thing,
I loved the first season. I loved
the first season. Is great, of course.
And then they had like and what's his name? Yeah, the bad guy, the actor's name. Yeah, the Doctor. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And but he was so good.
I would say don't bother with Inhumans.
Oh no!
Oh God, no!
That's not even my. Unfortunately, that's not my radar.
Don't get me started on that. That's another Scott Buck. Scott Buck ruined Iron Fist and he ruined Eternals for me. What's wrong with that guy?
No. Inhumans.
Or not Eternals, Inhumans. They're just as bad. Both of them were horrible for me.
Yeah, but know that Chloe Zhao ruined the Eternals, and it was Scott Fuck who fucked up the.
Yeah. If you want to ruin your character, just hire Scott Fuck.
Sir, it's Fuck.
Nah, we'll just keep it at that for Eternals. Eternals, boring snooze fest for me. It was pretty to look at, but it was just
it was uninteresting.
It's pretty whack.
It is pretty whack.
It is pretty whack.
They all could have died.
I watched it in theaters, and I'm just like, I could have waited.
They all could have died, and I would not have even cared. I would have been like, oh, cool, movie's over, thank God.
But it looks so good, and the music is so great, and there are no other redeeming qualities.
I don't remember the music at all. I don't remember. I remember the cinematography was actually kind of nice, but that's
cinematography. It was
about it.
Great looking. The actors did good, even though the characters were not very. Well,
I will say that the actors did do a good job with what they were provided with,
and the villains were pretty well villain. I don't know.
Dude, I actually
thought who are the villains in that movie? I can't even.
Exactly.
I don't even know.
I actually liked that Deviant.
It was a bug.
The Deviant was kind of the only.
The adaptive evolutionary bug.
Yeah, but they actually go somewhere with it.
That's the problem.
Maybe 10, 15 minutes more on that, then it could have been something
not even that,
but it came out of nowhere.
Like that thing, I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. The only interesting part about that movie for me, and they like start building it up, and they just eject. They're like half-assed and said, never mind. Let's do a more generic villain at this point.
Yeah, didn't even sequel bait him for another. No, they just killed him right away.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
No,
that was nothing.
No.
Because in the comics, that guy has a romance with Angelina Jolie's character, Crow the Deviant, and I was like, oh, maybe they'll actually kind of build up to that, or maybe allude to it that they did in the past, and that's why she was acting all crazy, like losing her memory and stuff. But I was like, nope, just completely nothing.
Yeah, but
Yes,
and
it
you know,
contradicts itself.
Say what?
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, like, if anything, though, too, like, you know, it's kind of actually sad, though, too, is, like, I'm, like, a big collector of figures. Like, I collect figures, you know, a lot. And
You
the
should see
one
my
thing,
self.
Same.
and you know, like, it's hard to find figures. Like, Spider-Man, when that came out, like, oh, my gosh, like, Tom Holland, you know, unmasked Spider-Man is, like, so expensive and all this stuff. But then, you know, what I see in every Target is the Eternals. Like everywhere, multiples. And you know, I've even thought about getting the Angelina Jolie one because hey, you know, she looks sexy. Might as well.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm looking at it right now. Doesn't look so bad. I'm looking at
Let
it right
Mr. Oyman be the only stupid son of a bitch who actually bought those.
You are made of.
Okay, but I got two of them for free. Okay.
That's
no,
a way
I didn't know it wasn't illegal.
They would have been good bonfire
I
fuel.
totally justified it.
Nah,
Hey.
but that's a waste.
Fire pit fuel. Fire pit fuel.
Look. The thing with the Eternals figures is that you have to have all of them or absolutely none of them. None of them look good by themselves. You either go all in and get the whole set and they look great together, or don't get any of them.
Okay, I see that. I see that. And it's so funny because like a lot of these new figures now have like a thing where it comes in a bath. So like it's a Build-A-Figure and you have to buy them like a certain amount so you can actually figure. And what was so funny with Eternals is that you buy them, if you buy them all, you just have another Eternal. And
that's what it is.
I was just sitting there. I was just like, what?
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's so bad, dude. It's shelf warmers. No one's gonna buy them. Like no one cares. It's a waste of resources. You wasted oil making that figure.
Okay. But here's the thing. Then you balance out shitty Eternals figures with this awesome Surtur figure. And Surtur, oh my goodness, I've never had a figure quite like this. This thing is a beauty. God.
Oh wait,
yeah. To the light, it looks like he's on fire. If you put him up to the light, it's like, oh shit. Okay, that's well done. Well made.
But what about let's get to an actually worth talking about movie. La creme of the la creme of the MCU last year was Spider-Man No Way Home. So why don't you guys
Yes.
How did you guys feel about that?
Let's totally get into that.
Yeah.
All right, so who wants to start? How about you? We'll start with you, Mr. Oyman, this time. It almost sounds like Mr. Oyman. No, I thought you did. I thought you haven't gotten first yet.
Oh, okay. So
you're
what
like
were
the
my
only
thoughts
person
on
I haven't.
Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yeah.
Well, you were there. You thought I had already seen it. You were like, Puta, have you seen this movie already? And I was like, if I told you that I did, would you believe me? Well, the truth is, that was my first time seeing it. No, I did not see it prior. And it was awesome. I mean, there's no going about it. It was weird. Note how noticeable it was. Like, okay, how this movie was definitely filmed during the pandemic. Like, I got that sense from this movie more so than any other MCU project or movie, because it just felt like all the actors were kind of like just spaced out in a way where the social distancing was definitely kept in mind, and they had to reuse footage from other movies and intersplice it to make the deadline and all that. But all that being said, it was freaking awesome. Seeing Toby and Andrew come back was something I never thought we would ever get. Same with Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina and all that. And we got that one beat of the electro theme. As soon as he appeared, we got that.
Okay, quick question. It has bugged me for forever. Why is Electro there? Why the hell was he there? That makes no sense.
Oh yeah.
I think they needed like another person.
They could have gotten anyone.
They could in there, and he just happened to be one of the ones who died. Well, and of course Jamie Foxx.
But it breaks the continuity more than more BS because
multiple tides.
It literally said anyone who knows Peter Parker will be brought over here.
And then he's like,
he's the only one who didn't know him. Yeah.
Black.
Yeah, I'm like, well, he obviously didn't know even what race he was or what his name was. So what the hell? How did he get pulled in?
Okay.
Here's
That's a
what I
plot hole.
think. I think when he was like, I was in the green, I was soaking up all this data. I'm sure somewhere in that data told him Spider-Man was Peter Parker. Maybe he heard the name. Maybe he heard Gwen Stacy yell Peter when he was fighting him or something. So he knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. He just didn't know what he looked like.
That sounds like a Mr.
that sounds pretty
Fantastic
good.
level stretch.
I'll
It
take
sounds
that.
like a bit of a stretch. Bro, this movie's about the multiverse and bringing back past villains that died. And apparently, how did Doc Ock know that Green Goblin was Norman Osborn? Because he kind of died, and then Peter like buried him secretly. It wasn't in the public knowledge. So they all come from a different universe.
It probably was on the news. I mean, you aren't the CEO of a huge corporation, and then nobody asks
then
questions.
then Harry never found out that his dad was Goblin until he met Otto. Otto he smashed through the mirror, and he's like, "Holy shit, my dad was the Green Goblin all along."
Oh, that's
that was
true.
2 years
Yeah.
later. So how would Doc Ock been like, "Oh, Norman Osborn was crazy. He was a great scientist."
Oh my gosh! Wow. Now that you
Okay.
say that, I
opened
I
Pandora's
didn't
box
even realize
there.
that. That's a
That
big
makes
old
sense.
loophole.
That,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a big
the thing.
loophole. Wow.
You can say the same thing for why Doctor Strange was stuck tied up for 12 hours when he can just magic himself out of webbing, I would think. But at the end of the day,
He needs his hands, and his
the
hands are
story
tied up.
worked. Like everything worked about the movie. It was still firing off on all syllables
Oh, yeah.
and cylinders.
And they did justice to Willem Dafoe, man. He
Bro, he was great.
elevated
He
the
brought it.
Green
Yeah.
Goblin
Oh my
even
God.
more than
Yeah.
I thought they would even do. It was like they brought him from one of my favorite comic book villains growing up in the movies to elevating that times 10.
They realized they couldn't recast Norman Osborn, so why not just get Willem Dafoe again?
Exactly.
Instead of
dude. It's like
So
MVP.
perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
Beautiful performance.
I mean, he aged, but still, like it's like it was kind of like a glove. You know, you just put it right back on. Like, I mean, he was just perfectly fine.
To be fair,
That's
though,
his
like,
character,
he's
man. Like,
he's
that's
always
no
looked
time at
old.
that.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
give me
yeah.
credit for that. It felt like no time had passed for any of these except for Toby. He was the only one that really looked older. But that was
Yeah.
It felt like
Yeah.
reuniting with old friends. Like it really did feel like reuniting with old friends because like as much as time goes by, like it's just the same. It's just like they're the same as you remember them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Miss CA? How would you rate that movie? Like, we obviously know it met your expectations, but like, what was your standout scene, and like, how much more did it meet your expectations or go beyond?
it kind of went beyond my expectations. So I was gonna be honest. I was really going into this movie like, I said I went with my brother. He was the second time watching it, and we just went and we were like, I was like, all right, I have this expectation. I was actually going in there believing that I would not see. I think I went in there. I made a bet with JT, and I said, I bet you they're not going to show Andrew. They're not going to show Toby. It's not going to happen. I bet you. And I bet him $10. I was like, $10, not going to happen. And we made this bet like 3 weeks before the movie came out. Went to go see it, and then after I was like, I owe you money. Because when he came up, I was like, I am glad to give you these $10 because I'm so glad that it met my expectations and more. Like,
Glad to be proven
I think
wrong.
that when they both came out, I was like, yes, this is it. Like, it met everything. I don't care what happens after this. This is the best part of the whole entire movie. Was them, like, Andrew and Toby coming up on screen. It was the best. That has to be. Anything else, I don't care. It's like, that was it.
Mhm.
And well, the best part for me was getting to the end and seeing that him finally become Spider-Man. It made me realize the whole trilogy was just
Oh yeah.
a
Oh,
origin
Sure,
story.
Yeah, he grew up.
Origin
Yes.
story.
was
Everyone's
a Spider-Man
saying
origin
it's
story.
Mr. Or Iron Man Jr. It's like, well, they took that criticism and turned it
Stepping
on
out
its
of
head
it, yeah.
because he wasn't Spider-Man yet. And they're like, you're right, he wasn't it. But now he officially is,
now
and he
he
has
is.
that beautiful, beautiful suit that looks straight out of like
yeah.
the Ditko
Oh,
or
yes.
Romita Sr. era.
Yeah.
Just, you can't beat
Beautiful
that
suit.
classic look.
It's like the same one from the game.
Yeah,
Almost, yeah.
I fell in love with that suit when I saw it. I'm like, oh damn, they did it. They did it. If I don't care if you can't sell any more toys, or still sell toys with different costumes. Just do not change the one in the movie anymore. Keep it. It has peaked.
I know. I want them to keep
It has
too. It's
peaked. The only
It's peaked.
suit other than this one that they should have is the black suit. Other than that,
Oh,
do not
Don't get me
touch
started
it.
on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the true
Oh
best
my
ending
gosh.
of the movie, Tom Hardy.
Oh, jeez. No, none of that Venom garbage. Keep that more BS
okay.
and Venom out of this.
They knew that like people were gonna the people who weren't keen on him joining the MCU, such as yourself, would be like, okay, good, he doesn't have to stay there. He's taken right back out. Made it pointless, but not really? Question mark.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
Venom.
Oh no, Black Venom Goo is still at the bar.
But
No, don't get on that right now. Don't bring this high down for me. Don't bring it down.
No, but for real, I thought No Way Home was like it hit all of the emotional stuff just perfectly, like all emotions. It's funny. It was funny, consistently funny. I thought that the jokes and the humor worked, the moments of that the characters had with each other, whether it was the villains or of course like Zendaya and Tom Holland and Ned, what's his last name? Ned Leeds. There we
Leeds,
go.
there
Do
you
you think
go.
there's other Ned Leeds out there? But like, I thought that the sad moments worked, the heartwarming moments worked. I thought it was funny as hell. I think that this is going to kind of be the Spider-Man movie to beat. I don't really see anything coming quite this close. Marvel kind of topped themselves again, so it's going to be a little bit we got Morbius next. I mean, what all do you know?
well, now that brings us to the segue before we go
Stop
today.
bringing
Let's
it down.
let's
every
go ahead
every
and
time I hear it, just gone down.
kind of
It's
like
Thursday.
now that we've talked
Ugh.
about the
Order your tickets
2021,
now.
let's see about the
They're selling out.
the future of the MCU. So what's it called? So obviously next week we're gonna have some talking we could do for sure, because we're gonna have Moon Knight starting. So are y'all gonna be watching that? I know you, Johnny, are probably gonna wait till the whole series is out, based on what you've said. But are you interested in it at all?
Yeah, I mean, like from what I've seen the shows, especially with Hawkeye, like I don't mind giving it a go, but I do love binging. I mean, I just like to see it all the way through. But I mean, I don't mind since, like, I mean, I do kind of have to give out details to about this now, so it's kind of like a thing where I feel that
Gives you a reason to
it's my
watch it.
yeah, it gives me a reason to watch it, now.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I mean, expecting a lot from the MCU because, like, especially after Spider-Man, like in my opinion, like I did love that. And you know what? I mean, I don't mean to sound like too sensitive, but I did get teary-eyed when like I saw Tobey Maguire, because like I was just like,
yeah.
oh
Yep.
my gosh, it brings back so many good memories right then and there to see him again. And then I knew that he was coming back as soon as Andrew Garfield. But I will say though, like most of that was a little bit spoiled just in the fact that like they came out with that trailer for like the Brazilian trailer. And then like the lizard was
punch.
kicked in. Yeah, lizard was
Yeah.
like I could see that it was kicked in the face. Like I never believed that it was like a punch, but he was like kicked in the face or something because like it looked like a hard hit. And I was like, I know they're bringing somebody in, and like it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But yeah, like I mean, especially with all this going on, like yeah, I definitely have a reason to actually see more MCU, especially trying to go back into this whole thing that Disney Plus is doing, where they finally bought out the other, the rest of them from Netflix and
all
stuff.
that.
Yeah. So like, man, I can see it all in one go. So definitely binging a bunch of stuff right now, and I will definitely be seeing Moon Knight. You can guarantee that as soon as. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm, like you said, glad that we could all like, what's it called? That we're all going
What
to
do
be
you call
watching
it?
it then, so that we could discuss it on Mondays, because that's definitely going to be. We wouldn't want to leave you out of it, because we will probably get into a bit of spoilers. Hopefully, we're going to try to keep it as close to spoiler free as possible, but. Sometimes that
But
doesn't
by
happen.
the time we would be doing the discussions on it, the episode will have been out for almost a week.
Yeah,
It comes
but
out on Wednesday, right?
there are some.
Unless we
That's
decide to do a
true.
Saturday
There are
one.
there are
That's
some
true.
people
That is true.
that
Most people will be hawking spoilers by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely then we'll be doing that. Other than that, what else comes out next year? We got Doctor Strange, of course, and
Miss Marvel, the best
oh jeez,
Disney Plus show of this year.
Actually, I don't know. I honestly
Yeah,
only know about
bring it
like
down.
Moon Knight and Madness. That's it. Those are the
Yeah.
only two I
Well,
know.
I-
Like at least
I-
confirmed.
Miss Marvel, and then
this year.
Thor.
I don't know
Love
anything
and
after
Thunder.
that.
well, their story. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. See, I'm just too hyped that those first two that are coming out. That
Dude,
the other ones
Thor
just
4's
kind
gonna
of.
be awesome.
Yep, it sure is.
Can't
Natalie
wait for that.
Portman's coming back. Oh my gosh, and it's gonna be so
Lady
good.
Thor. Gonna be
Yeah, lady.
When
It's
are
gonna
we-
kick ass.
When do you think we'll get
Yeah.
a trailer for that? That thing's like.
Dude, it's officially the smallest. Like before, it was the first Spider-Man trailer for No Way Home, and between the amount of time between the release and the trailer, the first trailer, and now that window is shrunk even smaller with the Thor trailer. I think they're waiting for
Ooh.
they're waiting for Moon Knight to come out because think about it, they're advertising 3 different projects right now. So once Moon Knight comes out, they'll be like, okay, here's your Thor trailer that they'll put in front of the new Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah. And
Well,
I don't really know anything about Moon Knight, but like I just had a bit of a question though too, because like I was kind of like a little bit confused because like like the Eternals at the very end, there was Jon Snow. I don't know that dude's real name, but I just know him always as Jon Snow. Like it's never gonna
He's
go
the
away.
Black Knight.
Yeah, he's the Black Knight. But like, does that tie into the Moon Knight, or is that like
No.
something separate?
Moon Knight-
Okay.
Moon Knight is
Potentially.
completely its own thing. It is
Yeah,
barely connected to anything else in the MCU.
Yeah, but it's
Okay,
they're
okay,
gonna.
okay.
It looks like
Kinda
they're
like the
doing
Netflix shows.
Blade and these supernatural things. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like I've talked to Mr. Oyman about this before. I feel like Marvel's gonna be doing multi-layered stuff now. You're gonna have your street level heroes. So there's gonna be something for everyone. Street hero levels like Daredevil, Punisher,
Yep.
Spider-Man.
God.
Then you're gonna have your cosmic stuff like Captain Marvel, the rumored Nova, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four,
Definitely.
and then you're
Yeah.
gonna have your supernatural elements to it, like potentially Blade, Moon Knight, and
Oh,
all
yes.
these.
And that's
So-
where the end of Eternals is going to tie in is the Blade movie or
Yes.
series.
Oh.
It might be either one.
Oh,
So,
very nice, very nice, very
I
nice.
honestly think that's
I'm
what
also
they're
Slap,
going
dude,
for.
honestly.
That was his
They're
voice.
trying
at
to
the end.
cater to almost everyone, to where if you don't like this type of, you don't like the cosmic stuff, don't worry about it. Just focus on the Avengers level threat stuff. Or if you don't like the Avengers stuff, just focus on the horror supernatural stuff. If you don't like that,
Yeah.
then we have
Werewolf
the
by
street.
Night.
Yeah, so they're trying
this year.
to aim everywhere while still keeping it cohesive. Is what my guess is.
Which I think is
Yeah.
pretty ballsy of a studio to try to tackle that and continue to be this successful with it. We'll see, though. They're really branching out, doing three
Yeah, but-
times as much.
Honestly.
They made
But
so
the-
much
Yeah.
money with their movies. They're like, we can do anything we want.
The same thing
Yeah,
was said
basically.
when the MCU first started. Nobody thought it was going to be a lot, and then we got Avengers, and then me and people like you, Puta, we started speculating. A lot of it came to fruition like we thought it would, but what's it called?
You guys keep saying that. I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh. I don't know if anybody else is Hispanic, but just excuse them. But okay, here's the thing though too. That's why I really wanted to get back to the Agents of Shield, because they brought back Ghost Rider, and
Ghost
Ghost
Rider.
Rider is one of my
Yeah.
favorites as
Yeah.
well.
And
I mean, I was hardcore
And-
into that show until like I think their second to last season. But
Yep,
I
that's where I
watched
kinda
that
fell
arc.
off.
That was a good arc.
I watched
Yeah, dude,
from
he's
the
one of my
first one
favorite
to like
characters,
the
too.
5th or 6th one, but the last couple ones I didn't watch.
Yeah,
I mean,
I fell off of that show after season 1. I will be honest, I watched the first 2 seasons, and then
Yeah.
I didn't get to the Ghost Rider though. I do have to watch those because I
Yeah.
was interested in what I saw.
The Ghost
And I do
Rider
love
part
Ghost
was
That's
pretty
Rider.
after
cool.
like season 5. It's further down
Yeah,
this season.
but it kind of annoyed me that they were pretty much taking that whole show and basing it off stuff that happened in the movies, and the movies never reciprocated at all and didn't take any notice of it.
That's how they
Yeah.
first started, but then they branched out all on their own afterwards.
Mhm.
I think
It's a lot
I think
better now
after-
with connecting everything.
yeah. I think after Civil War, they just broke off into their own thing because
That's
no,
true, yeah.
not after Civil War, after
Winter Soldier?
because
Yeah.
because
Because Hydra
after Shield
infiltrated.
broke up, yeah, after Hydra was like, they finished, they were like,
Maybe-
all right, we're branching off on our own thing.
See,
Yeah.
How about the Hulu shows? Has anyone seen the Hulu shows?
I tried
The
Oh, like the
Legion,
monkey-
Cloak and Dagger, Runaways, Hit Monkey.
I tried watching
yeah,
Yeah.
Hit
not a lot of
Monkey
Marvel on
and
Hulu.
Runaways.
I have
but I never
seen the
finished it.
Runaways for a
Was it
little
good?
bit. Like the first season
didn't
was actually
finish
pretty.
it.
It was pretty decent. It's pretty
Mhm.
decent. Like I mean, people are related to bad guys, and you're just like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, are they gonna be good? Are they gonna be bad? Like I mean, who knows? But
Mhm.
like after that, like I mean, Disney kind of like won it over because
Yeah.
they just came in. They're like, you
Yeah.
want to see everything Marvel? Boom! And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Well, okay. But I really did want to.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that monkey one because like
Hit
what's so
Monkey?
funny is like they actually came out with the figure that was like something edition for like Deadpool, and it's Deadpool and he has like a white suit and it comes with that monkey
Hit
kill or
Monkey
whatever.
wearing the white suit also.
Yeah, and like
With
I
all
got
his guns
that.
and stuff. Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I was
I
just
need a
like,
Hit
oh my
Monkey.
gosh, yeah, I love that. So it's really cool. So I really want to get down to watching that show.
You should. It's
Um,
good. I did like the Hit Monkey
Yeah.
show. It's worth watching.
Okay, that'll be
Cloak and
next on my
Dagger was
list.
good though.
Which one?
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and
Actually, I
Dagger?
enjoy Cloak and Dagger. Yeah.
I've actually liked Cloak and Dagger in the comics, and I have not heard anything bad about that show. So that is one that I've decided I do want to get around to. I just
That one
it's just with the fact that it's not really connected to the MCU.
No.
It's like I kind of put all those on the back burner because
To
I like
me,
rewatching
that
the
one
MCU stuff. More
just
so.
looked like an ABC
Yeah.
Family original, though. That's the only thing where I was like, I don't know how I feel
Yeah.
about that. It just,
Yeah,
I wasn't too sure. That's why I kind of skipped it, and it's just been in the back burner since.
Yeah, same.
yeah.
But I will get to it eventually. I do like
But,
Cloak and Dagger.
Mr. Oyman,
I waited till it was done and then I binged it. So
that's probably the
That's
best
what I
way to
did
watch
with
it.
Captain Carter or Agent Carter. That's the best way to watch that show. I thought.
But Mr. Oyman, you did bring up a good point that I don't know if I've discussed it with you before, but do y'all think they're gonna run into an issue when it comes to marketing with how ambitious and they seem to be wanting to get? Like what I mean is they're doing this with ever since Disney Plus. I've talked to you guys in private about this and stuff like that, where they waited to do the Netflix model once they got a bunch of IP, a bunch of studios, a bunch of everything so that they could have their own content. And it looks like Disney Plus and the movies, both Star Wars and Marvel, they seem to want to do what appears to be there's going to be one project per month, more or less. Like they're going to have a series, like let's say end of March right now on Wednesday, they're going to start Moon Knight. By the time that's done, it's going to be right
We
around
got
the corner.
Multiverse.
When that ends, I think
And then
around
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel
and
the
then
next
Thor,
month, and then
right
Thor.
after that is She-Hulk, and then right after that is Black Panther 2, and then the Marvels, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then after that we'll get Fantastic Four, directed by John Watts.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it seems like they're trying to go for a one major project basically per month. Do you think
It's crazy,
with so
dude.
many
I gotta get a job. I gotta get a job at Marvel, dude.
Yeah, but do you think with so many projects and so many
It's
things all basically almost going on simultaneously, do you think they're going to run into that issue where they're making the fans wait too much for a trailer, or they start just pumping out trailers left and right and it becomes maybe a little bit spoilers? Like how do you, and since they're all mainly going to be connected, do you think they'll run into issues like that?
Bro, no, dude. Here, you know how all of you that we've been talking tonight, we prefer going into these movies blind, right? Marvel has been getting better about making their trailers kind of like not super spoilery. Like with No Way Home, they kind of had no choice. Like that was a huge movie. They had to market it, but they did a good job at hiding about Toby and Andrew. But like the whatever movies, like Endgame, for instance, they barely showed anything from that movie because they knew that we will watch it. So eventually what they're doing is getting to the point to where you'll just go and watch it because it's next. It doesn't matter how you market it. They'll have to do something for the masses just so there's awareness of it because there's so much coming out all the time, and not all of it is going to appeal to everyone. But the thing with Disney Plus is that now there are more Marvel fans especially MCU fans, than there were 10 years ago when there were still a couple movies coming out every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
getting. That's kind of a ballsy strategy in my opinion. Like that's kind of risky. That's
The mouse, bro.
that's a
It's the
big
mouse.
ask for
Yeah.
the general audience.
Is it going to be watched out? Is it going to be? But here's the thing, though: the fact that they have so many projects coming out, they've been able to give so many different kinds of filmmakers their own voice and their own kind of genre for playing with each of these stories, whether it's like a horror Marvel thing or a comedy like She-Hulk or a space adventure like Guardians. Like all of them have been pretty good about letting the director like have full creative control, and every now and then they don't completely hit. But I feel like their track record's been pretty gonna be hard
Pretty
to
good.
topple.
Yeah, I have faith. I have
Yeah.
faith. I am looking forward to the future, especially with those rumors of Nova, which I've been hearing for like 10 years almost.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you on
Yeah.
that, dude.
Yeah.
I want it to happen.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
It'll
like-
happen. The Russos wanted to put Richard Rider in Endgame originally, and then the studio was like, "No, dude, Carol Danvers."
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, yeah, I've
Yeah.
ranted on to you about that several times because I knew that just made sense. That just made sense. That's how I would have written
Yeah.
it in, and that's how the writers were writing it in, and then they're like, yeah, you
Disney
know
said,
what?
"No, Captain
Screw
Marvel."
that. Take that.
Last minute.
Yep, and they're
Yeah.
like, you know what would work better? Captain Marvel instead of it actually making more sense.
Oh, you know, DC's doing a Wonder Woman movie. We need to do ours. Captain Marvel, sure.
And it's
People will love
bullshit, because it would have
We'll
been
get- we'll-
perfect.
we'll
It
get
would have been
right
perfect. And they name dropped my boy Richard Rider. They name dropped him saying that he was going to be the one who was
Yep.
going to be the only survivor of the Nova Corps, and he was going to go blast a la Silver
Thanos at the
Surfer.
end.
And then they turned it
Years
into the
later.
Hulk, which did kind of work because it was a connection to the Avengers. But
Yeah,
damn, I would have
I had no
I
problem
would have
with that.
shat my pants if it was Richard Rider. You know what I would have been like, Puta. You know. I would have
I will
probably
say
been
I
almost
don't-
crying.
I don't love how they've already changed Hulk's like arm. I guess there's been enough time has passed, but I would think that his arm's already healed kind of quickly. I'm like, I kind of wanted him to have a little gimpy arm.
Please don't start a rant with me because I won't
Yeah,
go on
no,
forever
don't
about
talk
that,
about
alright?
Hulk because
Um,
Lucius will
that's,
go off.
That's a very sore subject.
He doesn't like Discord moderator Hulk.
Are you? Hey, Josh, are you ready to get like Hulk back? Like if they do World War Hulk, which they've been talking about,
Yeah.
that'd be dope. That would
I
be
don't know
dope.
how they would do that. Though.
hand.
This is my strong hand.
Yeah, I'm
He gets a
very,
mechanical arm. Like
I'm very
Bucky.
salty of the way they're handling Hulk right now. It's a very sore subject.
Well,
Hey,
obviously,
I
I
don't
told
like
y'all.
it.
I told y'all what I'm looking forward to, rumor wise
Hulk
or
and
stuff like
Deadpool.
that. Being Nova, being what in the potential horizon are you guys gonna be looking forward to? I'll those will be the final topic real quick. So, Slucius, let's go ahead and have you. If they could make one series, like let's say that World War Hulk or something, what would be the one project that you would want to see in the near future?
But you said other than
No,
Sorry,
it could be World War Hulk, but other than that, or that, whatever what would be one project that you would want to hope to see that they like haven't announced yet, or you could see them making in the near future?
Daredevil.
Um,
Yeah,
I was about to just say,
yeah,
it's
Daredevil, like
yeah.
just like a new Daredevil series or movie.
I could get behind.
Yeah,
Done.
I could see that.
And yes, like I do want Planet Hulk. I do want
Dude,
I want Red Hulk. I want all of them. I want Maestro. They're not gonna do
Dude.
Maestro.
they will do Maestro. Just have faith.
You know what I just thought though is
10 years
is
from
like
now.
is like we're getting into the whole multiverse, right? But
Mhm.
what if they now that they have the Daredevil, right? This is our Daredevil now. Netflix's series is our Daredevil now, right? For Marvel. And what if they like did like a thing where they actually brought Ben Affleck back?
Oh.
And he's like the other they
Oh
brought
my
back the other Daredevil.
Nicolas Cage.
And
I would
then
not
you
be
got
able
like and then you got like Ghost Rider that's what's his
Nicolas
face
Cage.
Nicolas Cage come back and he's just like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I would not be
Oh,
upset
God.
about that in the least. I would not be upset about that at
Thomas
all.
Jane.
Dude, heck yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
heck
keep
yeah.
Thomas Jane out
Bring
of
it all
this.
in, dude. Bring
Screw
it
that
all
guy.
in.
Oh yeah,
Jack
oh yeah.
Oh my
I would
gosh.
I would definitely watch that. I
I would
mean,
definitely watch it.
The only
The
thing
run-
that I would feel a bit weird is like the fact that like I mean there's supposed to be only one Ghost Rider like alive in that era, isn't it? Or can there be multiple? Because like that one old
There
multiverse
could be
wise,
any-
there
that-
could be one
we
in
saw
I
3
think in
Spider-Man.
each. Yeah, like I think there could be one in each
yeah,
timeline,
in
like,
universe, but
universe.
like
continuity.
but yeah,
Which
if
the
I remember
second
correctly, it
Ghost
was only
Rider
one per
movie is a
timeline.
different universe than the first one.
That's just
yeah. I mean he was actually killing people and like I was like that's awesome. They turned him into
Yeah, it
Ash.
was.
I did not
Yeah,
like
that-
the
that
acting.
was
Don't get
dope.
me wrong. Like
Um,
I love Nicolas Cage, but it's just like it
The
was just so
filmmaking
funny.
was trash.
Oh my
but he was
God.
hilarious.
He
went full
was.
Cage. He went full
Yes.
Cage. So great.
And then like his face is caught fire, and I was like, "What the hell?" His eyes fell off. I was like,
He looked like a
understand,
Looney
like-
Tune.
No, you don't understand that I like garbage. Like I love absolutely
Jesus
love
Christ. So great.
the hell out of those films because they're garbage and it's so good. Like y'all, you don't know.
So good.
You don't know. Yeah.
No, I
y'all-
legit love
I
them.
agree.
I legit love
I
them.
agree. I
They're
love
awful,
them.
though.
I love them.
Actually, I don't think the first one's awful. I actually think the first one's not bad at all. It's not great, but I love
Yeah.
it. I love the first Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny.
Dude.
Like oh my god,
Hilarious.
it's hilarious. It's just a good time. And that's
Like
like
my-
the newer ones. They take everything so seriously, and it's just like you don't know back
Yeah.
then. Like I was on that shit way
Dude,
before the new
My,
ones.
my dad took
Yeah,
my 9-year-old sister and my 12-year-old self to Ghost Rider, and we fucking all loved it, dude. It was great.
Yeah. I loved it.
You got
I mean,
to
like,
understand.
I mean, like, but I really do kind of wish they would do like the whole thing with Elektra. I mean, I haven't seen that last season. I don't know if it's related to it, but like I did like.
no.
I actually like.
She was
I
good.
actually enjoyed Elektra a lot. Like even from like the whole what's her face and the
Like
Daredevil
Jennifer
with
Garner?
Ben Affleck.
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, Jesus.
I loved that Elektra. It was
Mhm.
really
like that
nice.
Elektra.
you
That
know?
movie
Yes,
was
I
ass
like
though.
that
Her
too.
solo movie, Jesus.
What is going on?
And like it's actually more true to her character than it is.
Yeah,
really
but
in
it's
the
so hard to
Netflix
watch,
series.
man. It's the visuals and just the overall
It's
story was
nauseating,
like, yeah,
but
it's
it is
rough.
not a bad
It's
Elektra
rough.
adaptation. You have to admit, it is pretty true to Elektra.
Yeah, but they somehow managed to make it boring.
I
Just take
mean,
her, just take her
Hey.
and do
it depends
her
how
thing,
much you
it's
like
fine.
looking at Jennifer Garner.
Oh, there's only
Depends
so
how much
much
you
you
like
could
looking
you
at
could
her.
take when looking at like eye candy though. There's only so much you could take.
Bro,
That's
that's most of the MCU's eye candy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
America's
sure is.
ass.
I mean,
Yeah.
Definitely.
But very
I mean,
delicious
no.
eye candy.
I mean, I can
No.
attest to that.
no homo, but like Thor, like honestly, like
All the
he's so good.
Chris's? Chris
Yeah, like oh
Hemsworth?
yeah,
Hemsworth,
yeah,
Evans, and Pratt?
yeah.
Yes.
We need
They
more.
like bulked up. Yeah, they bulked up, and they actually did really good with like their diet. And it's kind of funny with Chris Pratt because like he actually did those like little mini videos that I've seen where
Yeah.
he's just like, oh my gosh, I really want to eat this muffin, like
Oh,
but
yeah.
I can't.
You
I really
eat
can't.
it.
I can't eat it. I have to wait till tomorrow. Like I can't eat this. He told me I
Chicken
can't
and
eat it, but I
spinach for
want it
you
so bad.
only.
Maybe just like a little peanut and like he like he's like taking like
I
a little
love
nip.
Chris
It's
Pratt.
oh. Yeah, it's so funny, man. Like like I said, I recently watched a movie. It's Take Me Home Tonight, and he's in it,
yeah.
and he's like super young, but like he literally has not broken character that whole time,
No.
like with his goofiness. Like it's just like, but in that movie they made him like extra dumb, like a little frat guy. Like, he's just,
Andy
like,
from
really-
the Parks and Rec.
Yeah. But even more than that, like he's just like a dumb frat guy, and like the way he cries in one of the scenes is like he gets like slobber all over his nose. Like, please don't do this to me. It's good
Ugh.
stuff. It's good stuff. He's a great actor. I love that guy.
And what about you, Miss CA? What potential near future project would you hope to see?
You know, I'm just kind of here for the ride. Whatever comes up, you know, because like I said, I don't know. I'm not big
Ooh.
on like a lot of
Oh.
like main other characters.
Well, even
Uh,
You know
of
what
the
else
ones
is coming though? Captain
even the
America
What?
4.
yeah, but even of
Is
the
it really?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Green
Is
light.
I know. I'm like I don't
Starring-
want to. It's like I don't want to get my hopes up for it.
Yeah. No, but have they let you down so far?
No, they have not. So
See, so there is
there we
reason to be
go.
excited. I
Yes,
think
but I'm
it'll be
also
good.
still here for the ride. I love learning about new characters that I'd never heard before, and learning about them, understanding who they are and how they fit into this Marvel universe, either comic book wise or movie wise. So honestly, I don't really care. I think any Marvel project that comes up, I may end up liking it. Either beats my expectations if I know the character, or may surprise me of a lesser known character. So other than Captain America 4, I think I am just here along for the ride, and I love it.
What about you, Mr. Oyman? Same question.
What was the question? I'm just kidding. Hulk,
Oh, man, I was
Hulk
about
and Deadpool in Deadpool 3. I think it's gonna happen. 'Cause
Wait,
then
yeah.
Hulk could really
Hulk
be
in
like brutal
Deadpool
Hulk.
3?
Yeah, remember the Deadpool 3 like posted a picture of Mark Ruffalo and Ryan Reynolds, and then he's like Hulk and Deadpool question mark? And
I
now
thought that
everyone's
was
going
for
like,
the Adam
Okay.
Project, though. I thought it was because they were filming. Isn't Mark
yeah,
Ruffalo in that?
but and they're both in the MCU now, so why not?
That'd be an
Yeah.
interesting combo.
I don't know about that. Yeah. I don't really know
Deadpool's
about
gonna
that.
be in the MCU, but they are keeping him R-rated.
Yeah,
Nice.
As it
definitely.
should be.
Yeah,
there's
should be.
there's no reason they would mess with that. They even acknowledge Disney people are like, yeah, it's R-rated. We're not gonna change that.
That's great.
Good.
I mean,
Better
you
not.
can't go back. You can't go back. I mean, like, no, like, honestly, with it kind of it goes to like Wolverine, because like they had
Ooh,
like
yeah.
the PG-13, and then like Logan came out. It's like full blown like hack and slash, and you're just like, oh yes, give me the gore. I need it in my veins.
I want that for Hulk. I actually want like blood and gore, like
I'm
stuff for
saying.
Hulk, just like unleashed.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Unleashed Hulk just smashing fools and blood and guts everywhere, tearing people in half. Zombie
y'all seen-
Hulk eating them.
Have y'all seen that animated movie with Wolverine and Hulk? It's like Wolverine versus Hulk.
And then Deadpool shows
Yep.
up.
Yeah.
Yep.
That-
I've seen
that-
that one.
I
That's-
have
Yeah, a
not.
lot of the Weapon Plus
that-
program
God.
shows up.
That's what I want to see. Like that's what I want.
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
It was like a double feature because I think they had it like in the DVD. I think I might have seen it or in a series, but it was like a double feature. What was that? And then it was also Thor versus
Yeah.
Hulk.
Or yeah.
And like and I was just like, oh man, this is too damn good. Like
It hits. It hits so good, dude.
Just realize that if you did Deadpool, so Deadpool would be another movie where if they couldn't do everything that we would want to see in a Multiverse of Madness movie, because they still got to keep that movie about Doctor Strange and Wanda, but a Deadpool 3 multiverse movie, you could have every past actor who ever played a Marvel character show up, and it would make sense because it's all Deadpool traversing the multiverse.
yeah.
Yep.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. And he kills them along the way, because why not?
And now he's got a time machine.
You know, he's got a time
He
machine.
does.
And,
He does have time.
and
He does.
who knows what will happen, the possibilities are in it.
And what about you,
man.
Johnny? Do you have a dream near future? Like you could see them doing this pretty soon based on the building blocks that they've had?
I don't think they would actually do it, but since they already technically did, but the Marvel zombies, like, if they
Oh,
were
it's
to
coming.
like actually, like, if
Coming.
they actually, yeah, like, they had like
Animated
a
series?
supposedly, yeah, like, I mean, it would still be pretty good, like, talking about that, because it goes into full circle if you've actually read the series and comics, like, it goes full circle, and then you're just kind of like, what? So yeah, like, there's no avoiding it. In that universe, they're gonna freaking get taken over by zombies, and it's crazy because like that whole series is just phenomenal. But I wish they would kind of go back because like I heard like so many rumors, like I forgot who they said, but like I think it was a joke where they said like Daniel Radcliffe would be like
The
new
Wolverine.
yeah. I was just like, okay, I want Wolverine the most to come back, but like it's a
No,
cast.
thank
Not
you.
not Red.
Yeah.
Harry Potter as Wolverine.
That's a no. That's a no for me.
and like I mean I was a little even biased with like what's his name, Chris Patterson, yeah, being like the new Batman, but I'm just kind of like, hey, he
Hey,
was in
Robert
Twilight.
Robert
Yeah, whatever.
Pattinson.
Yeah,
Yeah, Robert,
No, I was
sorry,
thinking the
Ted.
same thing too. I
Too
was
many
like,
Chris's
well,
on this
we
stream.
all shat on
no, I did shit on Robert Pattinson. I knew that would be great casting, but a lot of people did. And so when you laugh at the idea of Daniel Radcliffe being Logan, like I could see it for maybe one movie and then never again move on to a different Wolverine.
See,
Yeah.
but me personally, I actually got past that whole hating Robert Pattinson because he was a vampire shit. I actually saw.
Dude, he's awesome.
I saw him a good chunk of
he's
his
really
movies
good.
after that, so I actually never had a problem with it because I knew he would bring his A game. But Radcliffe, I'm just not a huge fan of. I'm not hating on him as a person or stuff, but as an actor, he just doesn't do anything for me.
I mean, like, have you ever
Okay.
seen Horns or
I've
like
seen Horns.
Swiss
I seen
Ar-
Horns. Yeah, I
Swiss
saw
Army
He's good in
Man? Like,
Horns.
I didn't see Swiss
Yeah.
Army
Yeah.
Man.
Swiss Army Man. He's
Yeah,
good in
that
those
was like-
movies. I just think him as Wolverine specifically, like
Oh,
I can see him
yeah,
as
yeah,
another
yeah, okay.
superhero.
I know I've told
agree. I
Lucius
agree with
this
that.
a lot
I
of
agree
He's a good
times,
actor, though.
but I do want
Yeah,
like
Kimbo.
legit like 5'2"
Oh
Wolverine.
yeah, that was a good
I want
one.
like a 100 or 300 pound of muscle 5'2" dude just running around as Wolverine. That'd be hilarious to me.
Beefy little. Yeah, but how are people gonna fall in love with a beefy 300-pound 5'1" dude running around?
Someone will.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Someone will.
I mean,
Someone will.
there's
That's,
someone
that's
for
who Wolverine is. So
there's someone for
that.
everyone, man. I mean, he could get launched by the Hulk in a little like cannonball attack type thing, and
Bro,
some
you're just
chick would
teasing
be
me,
like,
man.
"That's hot,"
Yeah.
but I don't know. They could pull it off. I'm not holding my breath for a 5'1", 2" Wolverine, but hey, anything's
Just
possible.
bring back Hugh Jackman.
Just scale him
For
down.
real,
Just green screen him, scale him down, or
He's
make him
not
like the Lord of the Rings, make camera tricks, make him look
Yeah.
tiny.
yeah.
Shrink him down like a Oompa Loompa.
But that's the thing that's like the big topic now is like the big multiverse. So anything is possible, and in Marvel
that's-
Zombies, like that's another big thing is like in Marvel Zombies, like I can't remember who it is, but Spider-Man actually crosses over to a different universe where he actually finds himself and tries to like help him out and stuff, but like kind of goes south because he ends up getting hungry and ends up killing, I think it's like Shocker or something, and like just rips him apart. And Sandman is like looking at him like, "Oh my gosh, why would you do that, Peter? It's like you're not supposed to kill people." And then and he thinks it's Peter Parker, and then like he goes away and then goes to the real Peter Parker in that universe and actually goes into his mouth and it goes like super huge and fills him up with sand, and then all of his
Jeez.
guts fall out. So yeah, like I mean
They might do
Yeah.
that.
I don't think
Yeah.
they'll do that for the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
though.
Disney Plus show next year.
Yeah,
it's
no,
supposed to come out.
it might be a
Yeah.
little
Dude,
bit
I'm
more
hyped
violent
for
than we
this now.
expected, but not that.
yeah,
I know what scene
yeah.
he's talking about, and yeah, the whole series is pretty brutal. Even the newer one, I think, what was it like last year or the year before? They had another one that kind of somewhat concluded it and created the finale was more of like a time paradox type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I think that's a good ending for today. I feel like that we had good introductions and kind of let our opinions out about last year and what we hope to see pretty soon. Thank you guys for stopping by. Let's go ahead and do some outros. Thank you, Slucius, for stopping by, and Mrs. CA, Mr.
Of course,
Oyman,
dude.
and Johnny Joestar. Any of y'all have any social media or anything that you want to plug at the end of this?
Oh yeah, like
It's been
I
fun.
always
My butt.
yeah.
Your butt.
No, like I always wanted to do this. Like I mean, so like who would win in a fight? Can one of you guys like give a and see maybe like next one we can kind of start off with that a little bit, having a little argument, you know? I like to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
yes.
I like the sound of this. I
So
like the
let's
sound
let's
of
think of something to.
I'll
that
do
we-
research.
Here we go. I had it, and I was thinking about doing this. So, who would win in a fight? All right, Winter Soldier or Cable?
Oh, okay. that's-
Cable, easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even
No.
close.
I was like, we like that's for next time to talk about. Not,
Yeah,
not right
definitely.
now.
That sounds good.
Bring some argument points. I want to hear it because like I am very
That's
interested.
not
I like.
fair to Bucky though.
No. Like,
you'd be
each
surprised
one
what
has its
Bucky
own
could do.
strengths,
Yeah.
their own weaknesses, and you got to think
Okay.
about it. Like they have their history and stuff, so you just got to put it down next time. That's what I just kind of wanted to see, just a little bit of kind of get the flow going, and we could talk about that next time. So
Yeah. Well, thanks again, guys.
so bring
It
your
was-
A game. I want to
it
hear
was,
it. I want to hear it.
It was a fantastic panel and a great start to Marvel Mondays. Of course, presented to you guys by the Screen Crusaders, and we look forward to continuing and growing this segment and also the other programs that we hope to release pretty soon. But until next Monday, y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Good one,
Excelsior!
everyone.
Bye.
Yeah, bros.
Dun-dun-dun.